Good morning. This is the Daily Wrestling News for February 15th, 2021. We are powered by the Eastern Observer. My name is Ryan Joy, and I'm coming to you live from Minutes to Bell Time Studios on the beautiful Treasure Coast of the Sunshine State. And I'm joined today by Coastal Championship Wrestling star and movie star Ariel Levy. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, Ryan. You forgot to say that I am one half of the CCW's World Tag Team Champions.
Absolutely.
Alongside the Brazilian giant Vinicius, and of course, managed by the manager of champions, Bill Alfonso.
Absolutely.
ECW legend, Bill Alfonso.
Yes. And I believe that actually the match where you won those titles is going to air, I think, this week on CCW Live.
Tomorrow, 7 p.m. At CCW's YouTube channel, CCW Live. It's me and Vinicius versus the Colon dynasty, Eddie Colon and Carlito Colon, who has made some things lately.
Yes, who was in the Royal Rumble, and I was there. I was there sitting front row when you all won, and that guy came out, and I like to tell people he spit on me, but he didn't actually. But that's his line. So,
I wanted for him to spit on me, but he didn't get to. So, but I got myself a belt, so it's okay.
Yeah, that's right. So you're busy with a wrestling show here and there all the time. Mm-hmm. Are you able to split your time between Chile and the United States, or are you? What's your
right
situation?
now? I'm 100% living here in the United States since November, and I've been traveling all over Florida for wrestling shows and wrestling training. Mostly wrestling training because that's what I came from. All the shows, the title opportunities, the TV opportunities, all that came as a gift, right. I would say. So, but yeah, I originally was supposed to come here on April last year for the WrestleMania weekend. I had I was going to attend the Evolve wrestling camp. But of course, all of that got canceled because of the pandemic, and so it got postponed. Then Evolve died, and or got purchased by WWE, and then at the beginning I was of course very disappointed and sad. But I was looking on my Instagram that all of the wrestling scene in Florida was still pretty much active. So I said, whatever, I'm gonna come either way. I don't care. And I talked to Roma, my friend who's the CCW's women champion, and I told her, hey, I'm going to Florida. Do you still want to come? Because I don't want to wait longer.
Yeah.
I just wanna go there. I just wanna train. I just wanna get better, and so we came. And she's in Chile now, but she's coming back for the March shows in ECW. I stayed. I'm training, and I'm doing shows with ECW. We're going to Nashville this weekend, and I'm training there with them. And it has been it was a good call to come to Florida because it has been like an awesome ride. So yeah,
absolutely.
So I'm here. If a booker is watching us right now, I'm here. If you want to have the Chilean superstar, the one and only South American superstar in your show, just call me because I'm here. One flight away, one drive away. I'm here.
Well, you mentioned the Enter the Machine show, and I have the little graphic here. And there he is, Brian Cage, right in the center. But you're also kind of in this. You're smaller, but you're in the center of the graphic too. And he kind of. I was at Bash at the Brew, and he came out and kind of got in your guys' face. Any revenge plans this weekend?
Probably, yeah, of course. I mean, we're gonna have to figure out a good strategy because he's a machine. So, and he's a big boy. But I have my big boy with me. I have Vinicius. Last time he got caught out of guard, but we're definitely planning something to get our revenge on the machine.
Absolutely. That Team Taz from AEW has been all over Jake St. Patrick on Dark and stuff. So I think CCW has a bit of a vendetta to settle with this guy.
yeah. I think we should make like a Survivor Series kind of thing, like Team Taz versus CCW, like, and I'm confident. I'm pretty confident we could beat them.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, I don't think Hook would stand a chance against Vinicius or those guys. So, I want to talk about.
It'll be cool to see Vinicius versus Hobbs.
Yeah, there you
go. I'll take on Rick Starks.
Perfect. Yeah. So I wanted to ask you. You have always been a wrestling fan, and I learned that in my research that you have just always loved wrestling, and I think that's what's one of the things that's so cool about you. And I heard that it kind of captured your imagination in around 1996 or so.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering what wrestlers from that era just kind of like drew you in and kind of most captured your imagination.
Oh, I mean, it's pretty obvious, but for sure, Stone Cold, Undertaker, Mankind. I mean, Mankind versus Undertaker was a feud that really got me into watching wrestling at that time, like 96, as you said. I was always an HBK kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't like Bret that much. So when everybody says like, no, Bret Hart was a heel in America, it was 97, but still, he was a heel in America, but a babyface outside. And no, in Chile, he was a heel for me. He was still a heel. I was still cheering for Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold, whatever. But yeah, so basically those kind of guys. We didn't get WCW at that time, so we only got Monday Night Raw. So for me, were those guys like Taker, Stone Cold, Michaels, Mankind.
So it's interesting. I think that from my perspective, if you watch the South American Alliance, I think you get a little bit of Shawn Michaels and you.
For sure.
You get a little bit of Mankind and Vinicius.
Maybe. Yeah, no, but my I mean, I know I'm not that skilled as Shawn, but I play all the showmanship that he has. Like I think I take a lot from it. I use for the last show at the brewery, I used the belt as a mirror. I lean on the third rope. I mean, I steal a lot of things. I'm chewing gum all the time. Like I basically rip off Shawn all the time. And Vinicius is my insurance policy, so he's my diesel.
There you go.
Basically, yeah. I'm not embarrassed to say it. I'm ripping off Shawn Michaels all the way, and I love to. I have fun doing it. Yeah, I wear the jacket with the everything. Yep. Everything is Shawn Michaels inspired, even though he's not my favorite of all time. He's one of them. I'm more of a Stone Cold guy, but Shawn is so good, and I think I place kind of a my gimmick is such a like a. He's also like a Heartbreak Kid kind of gimmick, like a. If I'm full of myself, I'm playing like a sexy guy, I flirt with the girls. It's basically the same kind of gimmick. So I take a lot from Shawn. I wish I could wrestle like him, but I'm getting there. I'm training for that.
Absolutely. So you have like this really interesting background. You were in movies and television and everything like that.
Yeah.
And you were kind of working and promoting those when you got called into wrestling, so to speak. Could you tell that story? Because I think it's a really great one.
Yes, I did. I was in a late show, basically a talk show in Chile promoting a film, and they asked me, "Oh, okay, so I was talking about my life, and they asked me like, so your dream was always to become an actor or a performer, right? And I was like, no, actually, my dream when I was a little kid, when I was a teenager, was to become a pro wrestler. I wanted to be like just like The Rock, you know. Of course, I said The Rock because he's the most recognizable name, and they were like, really? Yeah. That was my dream. But of course, the Chilean scene was not that hot at the time, so I didn't get the chance, and I wasn't that into sports or athleticism. I was really I was a fat kid. I got bullied all the time in school, like most wrestling fans. Let's admit it. So I didn't get the chance to become a pro wrestler. It wasn't as like traveling wasn't as easy as it is now. Even now with the restrictions that we have now, it wasn't that easy in the late 90s, you know. So. Sure. To come to America and to train and to like right now you can reach to the promoters on Instagram or Facebook, you know. Back then we didn't have that. So yeah, I didn't get to achieve my dream to become a pro wrestler back then, but I got to achieve my second or third, because of course I also wanted to become a rock star, and then an actor, pro wrestler, actor, rock star.
Okay.
And I pretty much did it all because I had a band too. So well, yeah. Back to the story. I said that on an interview, and on this night show. It was a huge show in Chilean television, and they were. CNL, the Campeonato Nacional de Lucha in Chile, was still a project, but they reached out to me on Twitter and they asked me. They said like, "Hey, we're creating this new wrestling promotion. We heard you're a fan, that you really like wrestling, and we wanted to invite you and for you to help us to promote this thing on social media and stuff." They wanted me to be like kind of an ambassador for the brand. And I was like, yeah, that's a good idea, but what if I do something like we do, like, because that's basically how WWE got big, like promoting it with Cyndi Lauper or stuff like that, you know.
Yep.
And what if I'm your Cyndi Lauper? What if we do something like I get hit by one of your guys or whatever? And they were like, really? Would you be open to that? And I was like, for sure, man, of course. I mean, and they thought about it and they wrote me back, and we started like going back and forth with ideas. At the beginning, they wanted for me to be like a babyface guy, but I did this like promo video, and all of the wrestling fans were like, "What? That guy? He's a phony. He's a fake. He's such a bad actor. Whatever, you know, haters." And I was like, you know what? Let me be a heel. Let me cut a promo, please. Let me do. They were like, okay, we'll do this. You cut a promo on the first show. You cut a promo, burying us, basically, burying the wrestlers, burying the show, and a babyface will come out and challenge you, and he'll bury you, of course, and then you'll take your shirt off like you're gonna fight him, but then you're gonna powder. He's gonna like get to this, climb the second rope to celebrate, and you're gonna low blow him and kick him, and
perfect,
and then go out. That was the segment, like basic like Monday Night Raw kind of stuff, and we did it. It worked, and then 3 months later, I was wrestling this guy in my debut match in Santiago for CNL, with a little maybe not training whatsoever. I mean, a couple months of training, but I still did my best, and of course we got like media attention because I was working them, so it helped it helped CNL. It helped the Chilean wrestling business.
Did the fans eventually come around, or was it like they still hate you because
I mean, we have a love-hate relationship.
Sure.
But it took me 2 years, and I became a babyface.
Okay.
2 years. After 2 years, they were like, "Oh, this guy is really." I mean, we thought he was gonna come and leave.
Sure.
But he came. He stayed. He's traveling all over Chile. He got injured. He came back. They were like, "Oh, this like." I mean, with the boys was easier because of course the locker room also were like aseptic, and I get it. I get it. I mean, a guy who's not a wrestler comes and takes a place in the card, a spot in the card. I could be working. I wasn't even trained, so it was like,
yeah,
but I was respectful with them because I was a fan. So I was like,
sure.
it wasn't me like saying, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna do this fake fighting and then I'm gonna, go home." I was like, "Oh, I was asking them questions and telling them that I like their moves, their matches, and so I think I gained their respect very quick. But from the fans, it was harder, but it was great because it helped and because I was cutting promos on them, so
Yeah.
they hated me. But it was the same old story, I was cutting promos, and at the beginning they were booing me and hating me, hating me, but then they started having fun with my promos and having fun with my heelish tactics, because I was, and the same thing is happening here, because I'm kind of like I end up being like a funny guy to to look at, I so it's like those heels that you love to hate, basically, and that's what I achieved that in Chile, and I think I'm achieving that here too.
How did the movie and film and acting side of it kind of interpret your transition there into wrestling? Was it easier, harder to get roles afterwards, or were you fully focused on wrestling, or how was the sort of the heel Ariel Levy interpreted by that side of the house?
I think, because I did a couple things in Chile to promote wrestling shows,
mm-hmm.
that I think damaged a little bit my image for the common crowd,
Mm-hmm.
for the common fans, for the movie fans or the TV show fans, because I did some promos full on gimmick on radio shows, and of course wrestling fans were like loving it.
Yeah,
that's where they started like saying like, "Oh, this guy's cool, like his promo was really good," because I was cutting promos on guys like, "You're fat, you're out of shape, look at me, I'm a movie star, I'm a sexy guy, I get laid more times," like Ric Flair kind of shit,
yes.
like I get laid more times in 1 week than you will in your entire life. Stuff like that. Look at my IMDb, I have 30 movies. Look at my bank account. Look, I was being a heel, a Ric Flair kind of promo, and but of course, people who's not a wrestling fan will look at that and they're gonna be like, "What is this asshole?" Like, who is this? Like, he's an actor who's so full of himself. Bleh. So they didn't know how to take it, and I think that tarnished a little bit my image.
Yeah. Strengthened you on the wrestling side, though. So,
excuse me.
So you strengthened you on the wrestling side, right?
For sure. The thing is that I live out of acting, so wrestling was not paying my bills at the time. So,
right.
So it was not a good thing but now I'm really proud of it, because I basically worked an entire country.
Yeah, absolutely. So you had an opportunity for an NXT tryout a couple of years ago, but you had a separated shoulder that caused you to miss that.
I mean, 2018, December 2018, I had they hosted the first Latin American tryout in Santiago, Chile, my hometown, and I got invited, but defending the CNL championship, I dropped an elbow from the top of a ladder, bad idea, and I landed bad, and I had a separated shoulder. Like this was like 2 months before the tryout, so yeah. I missed it, but I still got the chance to do it in 2019. December 2019, I got the chance to come to the Performance Center, and so it ended up being better, I think, because
absolutely.
going to for a wrestler, going to the Performance Center is like going to Disneyland. So yeah. And it's in Orlando, so it's the same.
Absolutely. Well, yes, it very much is going to Disneyland. But you also had recently, at the beginning of this year, you had a match against Scorpio Sky on AEW Dark, and you had a tag match against Chaos Project at the end of last year. How were those experiences, and what have you taken away and incorporated into your CCW matches?
I mean, just the chance to go there and to have feedback from. I mean, of course, the tryout experience is very different than the Dark experience. The tryout is it's basically like a wrestling camp where you train with the most of the best coaches in the world, if you can say. Right. And then Dark is basically working matches, and you go there to put over the main roster, the Dynamite guys, right. the already signed talent, and but you still, after the matches, you get feedback from the awesome agents that they have, guys like Dustin Reynolds or guys like Jerry Lynn, Christopher Daniels, Cody. So I personally had feedback from Chris Jericho. So yeah, that's pretty cool for a guy who's still learning the ropes. It's a cool opportunity to have, and I was just there as a learning experience. Was really cool. The matches were okay, I think. Yeah, but it's a cool opportunity to see how the things done there. How is a professional TV taping or a professional live broadcast. It's cool to have the chance to go there and see that, and to see how's a professional wrestling company locker room.
Did you give Jericho a hard time because you're an actor and a rock star and a wrestler, and he's just a rock star and a wrestler?
Yeah, but he's a millionaire. I'm not. So
I guess he wins.
Excuse me?
I said I guess he wins.
Yeah. So I'm doing pretty good. No, but yeah. I'm not a millionaire. Yeah, he's no, he was amazing. He was an amazing guy. He is an amazing guy. He's so open. Not only with me. I saw him basically talking to the younger guys, speaking with the younger guys, and giving them advices and giving them feedback about their matches. He was open to help. He's not oh, I'm the biggest star in this show, so I'm gonna stay in my trailer in my locker room drinking the bubbly, and chilling out. and do my thing and then go back to my house. To my mansion. It wasn't that. He was one of the guys there.
Nice.
Of course, he's one of the leaders of the locker room, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But he was also like very approachable.
Sure.
Is that a good word?
Yeah, that works.
Very, very, very approachable. Very. So and all of the guys there, that surprised me a lot. There are no like. You can tell the difference between a star and a young up and comer, or a green guy, or a dark guy.
Gotcha.
They're all mixed together behind the scenes, and that's really cool. That's really cool because you can share experiences and talk and that's fun. And when you're trying to learn, like I am, that's great. That's the best. That's the best position to be.
So I have like a list of questions, and they're no particular order, but just kind of like sort of rapid fire type of thing. What is, in your opinion, a stereotype or stigma about or within wrestling that the world needs to drop? Like, what do people say about wrestling that just isn't true, and we need to kind of drop?
I mean, I hate that. I mean, it will never get outdated, I think. But the fake thing, I still get it a lot from non-wrestling fans. Like, but it's fake, right? You don't get hit, and I'm like, look at my, touch my rib. That's a broken rib from wrestling, doing wrestling. I mean, it's predetermined. We're working a match. Not trying to kill each other. I'm not trying to knock the other guy out, but everything hurts,
Yes.
So it's not fake. It's predetermined, and we're still getting hit, and we're still sweating, and we're still. But I think a lot of the. I'm gonna sound like an old school guy now, but I think a lot of the things that we, the wrestling community, do damage that image too. Some, because I like comedy in wrestling, but some of the comedy stuff is maybe too much, and it's like, it makes, like, if you're a casual fan or a non-wrestling fan, but you want to go to a wrestling show, because there's a wrestling show here, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna give it a chance. I'm gonna go. In your mind, you're gonna see guys wrestling, and you get there and you see like comedy spots where they're like wrestling with invisible lightsabers and stuff like that I've seen in wrestling shows. It's like, he's gonna be so confused, and also I want to say, like, some of the workers, like, sometimes they are not in shape, or they are not, like, they don't have like proper ring gear, that also damages the product and the business as a whole, because you still want to portray like a larger than life guy, or a professional athlete, so if you're going to portray a professional athlete, look like one. There's only a few guys that can get out with not looking like an athlete,
right?
Like, first guy that comes to my mind is Kevin Owens. Like, maybe he doesn't look like an athlete, but he's so freaking athletic. You see him like flipping and jumping out of like high stuff, but he's just one guy. And the idea that because we want to draw more people into the buildings. We don't want to stay with the same 100 guys that comes to our show. So I think for that you need to respect the wrestling business a little more.
Right, look the part and stuff.
It's maybe it sounds weird coming from a younger guy, because this is mostly what an older guy will say, but I agree 100%.
Yeah. So if people are were living under a rock and have never heard of you before, what match would you point people to go seek out and watch on YouTube or whatever from your catalog?
What match? Let me check.
Aside from the live tomorrow night, they can watch.
Yeah, for sure that match, that'll be a cool match. Well, you can. There's we have the CNL web series on. If you go to CNL Chile on YouTube, and I already had, because it's a tournament. So I think both of those matches that I already had there, you can check them on, and you'll see mostly what I'm all about.
Okay. And how about
and basically most of my CNL career, and there are a lot of matches there. So yeah. Or there's also one match that is me versus a guy called Red Rocket from CNL. This was 2018, March 2018. Me versus Red Rocket. Is when it's when I basically turned from the prick actor guy to and I earned the respect of the Chilean fans. But it's also like a good piece of work, I think. So give that a chance.
How about in the film or TV movie area? Anything you want to point people to go watch?
Oh yeah, go watch The Green Inferno. It's on Netflix.
Absolutely. Yep.
It's a great movie, a great horror film if you're a fan of horror films, and it's in English, because the rest, most of my movies or the movies that you will find on stream apps or services are in Spanish. So, but if you want to give that a chance, watch the trilogy called Que Pena Tu Vida. Okay. That's also a pretty good romantic comedy.
All right. Well, this has been one more thing. Okay, so you and Vinicius have the Headbangers coming up at the anniversary show 17. That's awesome. So that's next month. Yes. So here's kind of to play off of that. Here's another question. If you could defend the tag team titles with Vinicius against any other team in wrestling history, whatever wrestling history, who would you wrestle?
Oh,
one.
That's a hard one. That's a really, really hard one. Let me think of guys that can match our style. I would love to work the Dudleys.
With who?
Dudleys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bubba Ray and Devon. That's fun.
I'll take the 3D through a table.
There you go.
I'll take it. I don't mind. I'll take it, and Vinicius can take the what's up.
Well, now it's out there in the ether. So we got Headbangers coming up on the anniversary show 17, maybe anniversary 18. We've got the Dudley Boys. So we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like Devon's not working anymore, but yeah, they'll be awesome to work the Dudleys. Yeah.
After he hears this, he'll just have to get back into it.
100%. Sure.
Yeah. Well, this has been really, really fun. Tell people about where they can find you on social media and stuff like that and follow you.
Oh, basically my name with an underscore, Ariel underscore Levy, Ariel underscore Levy, on Instagram and on Twitter. I don't use Twitter that much. I'm more of a Instagram kind of guy. And on Facebook, you can find me as Ariel Levy Door, DOR, which is
Okay.
my mom's last name. So, so that's it basically. That's my social media, and yeah, and of course you can also follow CCW, which is at CCW Training Facility or at Alive Wrestling, and watch and subscribe to the YouTube wrestling channel for CCW, which is Coastal Championship Wrestling, and watch Alive every Tuesday at 7. And we're taping a lot of stuff right now for more. We're gonna have a lot of content. There are a lot of tournaments coming now. We're gonna start having live streams for some of our shows. So if you're a wrestling fan, you should really pay attention to what CCW is doing right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you mentioned, Alive tomorrow. You guys are in Nashville this weekend. Mm-hmm. You got the Anniversary 17 next week or next month, which has I'm trying to think. I think it's the 20th. I'm coming off the top of my head though, so it's 19th or 20th. But that's got you guys versus the Headbangers. There's a ladder match with Roma Luchadora and Marina Tucker and La Brava. Yeah, and then there's a hair versus hair match with Brutus the Barber Beefcake there. Yeah, so a lot of stuff.
Yeah, maybe if there's a, because I'm a Sean's ripoff, as I told. So maybe if we do like a segment in the barber shop, maybe Vinicius should. Be careful,
I don't think Vinicius wants to be the Genetti of the group.
No, he's not.
I think you both want to be the Sean of the group.
Yeah, or maybe we can both drop Bill Alfonso. I don't know.
Oh yeah, big face turn for the South American Alliance.
I don't know what's in the future for the South American Alliance, but yeah, but it's definitely bright, and we have that match with the Headbangers, and yeah, and there's gonna be they already announced that there's a hardcore tournament. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be a hardcore cup, and we're gonna have a cruiserweight tournament.
Yeah, Neilio mentioned that.
I think
64 people.
Excuse me.
Neilio mentioned 64 people in that tournament.
Yes, and the last time I checked the scale, I'm a cruiserweight. So.
Wow.
maybe I'm gonna become the first CCW cruiserweight champion, and I'm gonna be two belts Levy. Who knows?
There you go.
Who knows?
Very good.
The only thing for sure with Levy is nothing's for sure.
Perfect. I'm going to tell a couple of people about a couple other shows that I'm involved with before we get out of here real quick. Sure. We have the Primetime Rundown. Join Joey Jarzenka, Ian Schreier, and Rob DeLuca on Friday nights for the Primetime Rundown. They take you through the world of sports. The show kicks off at 6 p.m. on the Eastern Observer. And then also the Essential Wrestling Podcast starts at 6 p.m. on Tuesdays. Al Carl hosts that along with me and John Smith, John DeConi, and Gary Mahaffey. Tuesdays are so busy with Alive Wrestling and the Essential Wrestling Podcast and everything else that's going on. But that show starts at 6 p.m. on the Eastern Observer. And then this show, the Daily Wrestling News Show, is here every day at 10 a.m. And we return tomorrow with my co-host Travis. And that's it. So thank you so much again for this interview. I really appreciate having you on today.
Thank you, Ryan, as always. I love to talk about wrestling. Not so much about me, but it's okay. I guess only when I'm in character.
Yeah.
But I love to talk about wrestling. So if you want to have me and talk about like old school wrestling or stuff like that, I'll be glad to. So
perfect. Absolutely.
So thank you very much for the opportunity, and I will always say that put attention to what CCW is doing, because we're doing great stuff now. So basically, give us a chance if you're a wrestling fan.
Definitely, and it's so accessible. It's so easy to go watch. They always put stuff out on Facebook and Twitter, so you can find what's going on, and it's on YouTube. So very good. Thank you, sir.
No, thank you. Thank you. Have a great week, and see you at the Florida shows, I guess.
Absolutely. All right. Everybody, we'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.